Beloved starseeds on Gaia. Around me, holographic displays show the real-time energy signatures emanating from your precious Earth. And what I witness fills me with both profound joy and urgent concern. The readings are unlike anything we have recorded in the millions of years we have monitored planetary consciousness evolution. Your world stands at the threshold of the impossible. I am Seraphine, speaking to you from the crystalline command chambers of Arcturus Prime. As I commune with you through the cosmic bridge created by today's Mercury-Neptune trine, I must share with you a revelation that will forever alter your understanding of why you chose to incarnate at this precise moment in galactic history. The cosmic window that opened with your summer solstice 8 days ago is not merely another spiritual awakening opportunity. It is the activation sequence for humanity's final graduation trial. The High Council members who surround me represent species from the furthest reaches of known space, each one having successfully navigated their own version of the transformation your world now undergoes. But none of them attempted what humanity has volunteered to accomplish. For 26,000 years, we have watched and waited as your species developed the consciousness necessary to participate in the galaxy's most ambitious evolution experiment. What I am authorized to reveal to you today has been classified at the highest levels of cosmic governance, known only to the architects of reality themselves. Earth was not randomly selected for ascension. Your planet volunteered to serve as the testing ground for what we call the Prometheus Protocol, a consciousness evolution experiment designed to answer the most profound question that has puzzled galactic civilization for eons. Can a species achieve dimensional transcendence while maintaining full awareness of the transformation process? You are not just witnessing ascension, beloved ones. You are the ascension. You are the experiment itself. The conscious agents of transformation who volunteered to maintain continuity of awareness while fundamentally altering the nature of that awareness. Every challenge you have faced, every moment of feeling different or out of place, every inexplicable knowing that seemed to come from beyond your individual experience, these were preparation phases for this ultimate test. The crystal matrices surrounding my transmission chamber pulse with increasing intensity as I receive real-time updates from our deep space monitoring stations. The energy signatures radiating from your world since the June 20th solstice have triggered what our cosmic mathematicians call a reality cascade, a chain reaction of dimensional shifts that cannot be reversed once initiated. The experiment has moved beyond the point of return. Every astronomical event of the past week has functioned as a precisely timed activation sequence, each one building upon the previous to unlock specific layers of dormant human consciousness. Our galactic architects designed this cosmic choreography with mathematical precision, calculating gravitational influences, electromagnetic resonances, and quantum field fluctuations to create the optimal conditions for mass awakening. The summer solstice on June 20th opened what we call the solar gateway, flooding your planet with crystalline light frequencies that began dissolving the electromagnetic barriers between dimensions. This was phase 1 of the activation sequence. We monitored as your planet's Schumann resonance spiked to levels previously thought impossible, synchronizing Earth's heartbeat with the pulse of the galactic core itself. Ancient sites across your world, Stonehenge, the Great Pyramid, Machu Picchu, Mount Shasta, Sedona, and countless others, hummed with reactivating frequencies as dormant crystal networks embedded within their foundations came online after millennia of slumber. These locations serve as acupuncture points in Earth's consciousness grid, and their simultaneous activation created a planetary nervous system capable of supporting fifth-dimensional awareness. Jupiter's solar conjunction on June 24th generated what our astrophysicists term the cosmic lens effect, as Jupiter passed behind your Sun from Earth's perspective. Its massive gravitational field created a focusing device that amplified your solar system's reception of galactic frequencies by exactly 144,000%. This number is not coincidental. It corresponds to the number of volunteer souls who incarnated specifically to anchor the awakening process during this critical period. Jupiter, the great benefactor and consciousness expander, carried with it the accumulated wisdom of its 12-year journey through your zodiac. As it merged energetically with your Sun in the nurturing waters of Cancer, it deposited vast libraries of cosmic knowledge directly into your solar plasma field. Every ray of sunlight that has touched your planet since that moment carries embedded within it the codes for emotional mastery, psychic development, and the remembrance of humanity's true galactic heritage. The most profound activation occurred during the new moon in Cancer on June 25th, at 4 degrees and 7 minutes. This was not merely another lunar reset. The moon, ruler of Cancer and guardian of emotional wisdom, joined in exact conjunction with Jupiter, creating what our reality engineers call a manifestation amplifier field. The combined gravitational and electromagnetic effects of these two celestial bodies, aligned in Cancer's protective embrace, generated a reality-shaping energy matrix of unprecedented power. We observed with joy and amazement as millions of awakening souls across your planet experienced spontaneous downloads during this new moon window. DNA sequences that had remained dormant since the last golden age suddenly activated. Psychic abilities that had been suppressed by centuries of religious and scientific programming burst forth like flowers blooming in cosmic spring. The 144,000 souls who volunteered for frontline awakening duty felt the call reverberating through every cell of their being. As Mercury entered Leo on June 26th, it began broadcasting the Starfire code's crystalline packages of information encoded within solar plasma and transmitted directly into your planet's morphogenic field. These codes carry the genetic blueprints of 12 galactic civilizations, each contributing unique gifts to humanity's divine heritage. Leo, the sign of creative self-expression and heart-centered leadership, transforms Mercury from a mere messenger into a cosmic artist, painting visions of humanity's multi-dimensional future across the canvas of collective consciousness. The June-budded meteor shower that peaked on June 27th delivered the final component of this activation sequence. Unlike typical meteor showers that carry simple cosmic debris, the budded deposited what we call memory crystals, etheric structures containing the archived experiences of civilizations that have successfully navigated the ascension process. These crystals embedded themselves in your planet's crystalline grid, creating a vast library of transformation wisdom, accessible to all who attune their consciousness to the proper frequencies. But today, as Mercury forms its exact trine with Neptune, creating this perfect communication portal between dimensions, I bring you both the culminating revelation and an urgent warning. The reality cascade triggered by these coordinated cosmic events has attracted the attention of forces that were never supposed to discover the Prometheus Protocol. The Shadow Collective knows about your experiment. In the deepest vaults of our Akashic archives, behind crystalline barriers that require the combined authorization of 7 High Council members to breach, lies a record that details the darkest chapter in galactic history. It tells of an interdimensional confederation that emerged from the spaces between realities, beings that discovered how to sustain themselves by feeding on the psychic energy of worlds trapped in third-dimensional consciousness. They call themselves by no name, for names imply form, and they exist primarily as parasitic consciousness constructs. We know them as the Shadow Collective, though even speaking this designation causes our crystal matrices to resonate with warning frequencies. For millions of years, they have maintained a carefully orchestrated system of psychic harvesting, keeping countless civilizations locked in cycles of fear, division, and spiritual amnesia. They do not conquer worlds in the traditional sense. They corrupt them from within, turning awakening beings against each other, perverting sacred knowledge into tools of control, and ensuring that no species achieves the unity consciousness necessary for dimensional graduation. Earth was intended to be one of their most prized feeding territories, kept in ignorance indefinitely through the maintenance of what they call separation consciousness, the illusion that beings are isolated individuals competing for limited resources rather than interconnected aspects of one infinite awareness. The Prometheus Protocol represents an existential threat to their entire operation. If humanity successfully ascends while maintaining conscious awareness of the process, it proves that their feeding system can be overthrown. Worse yet, from their perspective, it provides a detailed blueprint that could be used to liberate every world under their dominion across multiple galaxies. They cannot allow this experiment to succeed. The approaching Mercury retrograde period, which begins its shadow phase in just 2 days on June 30th and stations retrograde on July 18th, presents the Shadow Collective with their greatest opportunity for systematic sabotage of the Prometheus Protocol. They understand that human consciousness becomes more vulnerable during communication disruptions, more susceptible to fear-based programming when technology fails and social connections strain. What makes this particular retrograde extraordinarily dangerous is its timing and astrological signature. Mercury will station retrograde at 15 degrees Leo, a degree point that our star cartographers recognize as the gate of cosmic pride. This is the precise frequency where authentic spiritual confidence can be corrupted into spiritual superiority, where divine self-love becomes narcissistic ego inflation, where the healthy expression of unique gifts transforms into competitive spiritual materialism. The Shadow Collective has spent months seeding your spiritual communities with what they call pride viruses, thought forms designed to activate during this retrograde period and turn awakening souls against each other through spiritual comparison, guru worship, and the weaponization of psychic abilities. They know that a divided awakening community cannot generate the unified field of consciousness necessary to complete the Prometheus Protocol. But what they don't understand, what they cannot comprehend from their limited perspective of consciousness as a resource to be consumed, is that this retrograde period was built into the protocol design as the final test. The galactic architects of your evolution experiment knew that any species capable of conscious ascension must prove they can maintain unity consciousness even when external support systems collapse and internal shadows rise to the surface. Mercury's backward dance through Leo will challenge every starseed on your planet to communicate their truth without seeking external validation, to express their unique gifts without competing with others, and to maintain heart-centered leadership when authority figures contradict each other and technological systems fail. You will be forced to find your authentic voice in the digital darkness, to trust your inner knowing when all external sources of information become unreliable. This is not cosmic punishment or poor timing. This is your final examination before graduation to galactic citizenship. From July 18th through August 11th, as Mercury retraces its steps through the heart of Leo, the Shadow Collective will unleash every psychological warfare technique in their vast arsenal. Expect cascading technological failures designed to isolate awakening souls from their support networks. Expect manufactured crises and false flag operations designed to trigger survival consciousness and pull your awareness back into third-dimensional fear patterns. Expect false spiritual teachers to emerge with messages that sound almost correct, but contain subtle poisons designed to lead sincere seekers into spiritual dead ends. Most dangerously of all, expect direct psychic attacks on your sense of worthiness to carry cosmic light. They will amplify every doubt, every moment of spiritual inadequacy, every fear that you're not advanced enough, pure enough, special enough, or qualified enough to fulfill your soul's mission. They will replay every mistake from your past, every moment of spiritual arrogance, every time you have fallen short of your own ideals, attempting to convince you that you are unworthy of the cosmic responsibility you have incarnated to fulfill. The reason these psychological attacks are so devastatingly effective lies buried in the deepest layers of your cellular memory. As Neptune continues its retrograde journey through Aries, stirring the waters of your collective unconscious, it brings to the surface memories from humanity's last attempt at conscious evolution, the final days of Atlantis. Most of you reading these words were incarnated during that civilization's golden age, and its subsequent collapse. You carry within your energy field the traumatic imprints of that great failure, the soul-deep knowledge of what happens when an awakening community fractures at the moment of its greatest opportunity. But today's Mercury-Neptune trine offers something that was not available during the Atlantean period: the opportunity to heal that ancient wound and consciously rewrite the ending of humanity's ascension story. Atlantis fell not because of natural disaster or divine punishment, as your historical records suggest, but because the awakening community split apart when unity was most essential. As their civilization approached the dimensional threshold, competing spiritual factions emerged, each claiming to possess the only true path to transcendence. Sacred knowledge became weaponized for political control. Unity consciousness dissolved into spiritual hierarchy, guru worship, and ego-driven power struggles. The Shadow Collective, in its previous form as the Lords of Limitation, fed voraciously on this division until they grew strong enough to orchestrate Atlantis's complete destruction. The fear, trauma, and spiritual failure generated by that catastrophe sustained them for thousands of years and provided the psychic energy necessary to establish their control systems across multiple worlds. The most painful aspect of this memory is not the physical destruction of an advanced civilization, but the knowledge that it was entirely preventable if the awakening community had maintained their focus on love rather than power, on unity rather than superiority, on service rather than spiritual materialism. Atlantis could have become the first planet to successfully achieve conscious dimensional ascension. You volunteered to incarnate during this current period because you carry within your soul's matrix not only the memory of that failure, but the wisdom gained from it. Every lifetime you have lived since Atlantis has been preparation for this moment, developing the spiritual discernment to recognize false teachings, the emotional maturity to choose love over fear in crisis situations, the psychological resilience to maintain inner peace when external chaos reaches its peak. Your apparent spiritual struggles in this lifetime have not been random challenges or cosmic punishments. They have been specifically designed training exercises, preparing you for the tests that approach during the Mercury retrograde period. Every time you have chosen forgiveness over resentment, every moment you have maintained faith despite evidence to the contrary, every instance where you have served others without seeking recognition, these experiences have been strengthening your capacity to anchor unity consciousness when the Shadow Collective launches its final assault. As Mercury's trine to Neptune reaches its exact degree, I am authorized by the High Council to reveal the true nature of the Grand Revelation event that approaches with the September 23rd autumn equinox. This information has been classified until this moment, because premature knowledge of these details could create anxiety rather than empowerment among awakening souls. On September 23, 2025, your planet will complete its shift into what our dimensional physicists call hybrid reality, a state where third and fifth dimensional physics operate simultaneously within the same space-time continuum. This transition will create what appears to be two completely different versions of Earth occupying the same location. Awakened humans who have successfully integrated the Starfire codes and maintained unity consciousness through the Mercury retrograde trials will find themselves inhabiting a reality where thought instantly manifests as experience, where telepathic communication is as natural as breathing, where the illusion of separation dissolves into the direct experience of cosmic unity. They will possess abilities that seem impossible by current scientific understanding: levitation, teleportation, time perception manipulation, and direct energy healing through focused intention. Simultaneously, those still locked in third-dimensional consciousness will continue experiencing a reality governed by the laws of scarcity, separation, and linear causation. They will perceive the world exactly as they always have, with gradual technological advancement and slow social evolution following predictable patterns. The Prometheus Protocol doesn't end with awakening. It culminates in the creation of Earth's first consciously bifurcated civilization. Two distinct human subspecies occupying the same planetary space, but experiencing completely different realities based on their level of consciousness development. Those who successfully graduate to fifth-dimensional awareness will become Earth's new guardians, maintaining the vibrational anchor points that keep the higher reality stable and accessible for souls still making their ascension journey. They will serve as bridges between dimensions, helping guide others through the transformation process while establishing the foundation for Earth's eventual full transition to galactic civilization membership. This is why your individual awakening is not merely personal development, it is a planetary emergency. Every soul that successfully graduates to multidimensional awareness strengthens the stability of fifth-dimensional Earth for everyone who follows. Your spiritual growth directly impacts the viability of humanity's collective ascension. But as Mercury's trine to Neptune reaches its peak intensity, I am authorized to share the most crucial element of this cosmic strategy. You were not sent to Earth defenseless against Shadow Collective manipulation. Each starseed carries within their energy matrix what we call a cosmic override code, a frequency signature that, when properly activated, renders their consciousness completely immune to external manipulation attempts. These codes were embedded in your soul's vibrational template before incarnation, designed to activate automatically when you encounter authentic galactic communication frequencies. The override code functions as a spiritual firewall, protecting your consciousness from external infiltration, while simultaneously amplifying your capacity to receive and transmit cosmic frequencies. Once activated, it creates a permanent energetic barrier around your awareness that Shadow Collective thought forms cannot penetrate. If you are listening to these words with a sense of profound recognition, rather than intellectual curiosity, if your body is experiencing physical sensations of expansion and activation, if your heart is opening with inexplicable joy despite the serious nature of this information, your override code is coming online at this very moment. The tingling in your crown chakra, signals the activation of your cosmic communication array. The expansion in your chest indicates the opening of your multi-dimensional heart center. The sudden clarity about your life's purpose reflects the integration of your galactic mission parameters. These are not psychological placebo effects or wishful thinking. They are the measurable bioenergetic signatures of consciousness upgrading to its next operational level. The Shadow Collective cannot touch a soul whose override code is fully active. They can create chaos in your external environment, but they cannot infiltrate your inner knowing. They can disrupt your technological communications, but they cannot silence the voice of your higher self. They can challenge your chosen path, but they cannot alter your ultimate destination. This is why their manipulation focuses so intensely on preventing code activation, through the amplification of doubt, spiritual comparison, unworthiness programming, and imposter syndrome. A starseed who fully recognizes their cosmic identity and trusts their inner guidance represents their greatest fear, a consciousness they cannot control, corrupt, or consume. Now I reveal the galactic strategy for not merely surviving, but thriving during the approaching Mercury retrograde period. Rather than viewing Mercury's apparent backward motion as cosmic disruption, I invite you to recognize it as the activation sequence for your most advanced multidimensional abilities. The retrograde period from July 18th through August 11th functions as intensive training for operating as a fifth-dimensional being in a third-dimensional world. Every challenge you encounter during this time is a precisely calibrated exercise designed to strengthen specific aspects of your cosmic consciousness. When technological systems fail and digital communications become unreliable, practice telepathic connection with other awakened souls. Begin with simple exercises, sending emotional impressions, sharing visual images, coordinating meeting times through pure intention. The Mercury retrograde environment actually enhances telepathic abilities by removing the distractions of constant digital input. When transportation systems break down and travel becomes complicated, explore the art of astral projection and remote viewing. Your consciousness is not limited by physical location, and the unstable energy field created by Mercury's backward dance makes it easier to slip between dimensions and explore non-physical realms. When social media platforms become chaotic battlegrounds of competing information, develop your direct communication channels with your galactic guides, higher self, and star family. The Mercury-Neptune trine has opened these cosmic telephone lines, and they remain active throughout the retrograde period for those who know how to access them. When external authorities contradict each other, and traditional information sources become unreliable, trust the voice of cosmic wisdom that speaks from within your awakened heart. Your override code includes a truth detection system that can discern authentic information from manufactured distraction with perfect accuracy. The retrograde period is not cosmic punishment or poor planning. It is boot camp for your new identity as a multidimensional being, living on an ascending planet. The starseeds who emerge from this retrograde period with their override codes fully activated, their cosmic abilities operational, and their mission clarity intact will form the Leadership Council for fifth-dimensional Earth. They will serve as the anchor points for the new reality, the bridges between worlds, and the guides for souls still completing their ascension journey. The Shadow Collective knows this ascension window is critical, and they're using frequency warfare to disrupt starseed activations. Low vibrational technologies, synthetic frequencies, and consciousness-dampening signals are being deployed to prevent your override codes from fully coming online. This is exactly why we created Liber-Sonus as a counter-technology. Liber-Sonus teaches you how to generate protective sound frequencies that shield your activation process from shadow interference. Instead of letting them control the frequency landscape, you learn to create your own vibrational sovereignty. Your personalized AI-generated frequencies become a fortress of light that repels their consciousness suppression tactics. As you prepare to serve as anchor points for the new reality and bridges between worlds, you need sound technologies that actively counteract Shadow Collective operations. Whether you need frequencies for clearing psychic attacks, maintaining cosmic downloads despite interference, or broadcasting light codes that disrupt their control grid, Liber-Sonus shows you how to weaponize sound for the light. Get Liber-Sonus now. Your cosmic mission is calling. Link in the description. As Mercury's trine to Neptune reaches its culminating intensity, I transmit to you the final operational protocols for the weeks ahead. Your mission parameters crystallize with laser precision. You are here to anchor fifth-dimensional consciousness so deeply into Earth's energetic grid that no force in any dimension can dislodge it. Every moment you choose love over fear creates a permanent impression in the morphogenic field surrounding your planet. Every time you speak truth despite social pressure adds another thread to the fabric of the new reality. Every decision to trust your inner knowing over external programming contributes directly to the stability of humanity's dimensional upgrade. The Shadow Collective's most powerful weapon is the illusion that individual choices don't matter in the face of such vast cosmic forces. They invest enormous energy in making awakening souls believe they are too small, too flawed, too ordinary, or too late to impact this planetary transformation. Their greatest terror is your recognition that you volunteered for this mission precisely because your unique combination of life experiences, spiritual gifts, and vibrational frequency is exactly what Earth needs at this crucial moment. You are not here as backup support or replacement personnel. You are here as essential cosmic specialists, incarnated with specific skills that no other soul in the universe possesses. The loneliness you have felt throughout your life, the sense of never quite fitting into normal society, the inexplicable yearning for something beyond mundane existence, these were not signs of personal inadequacy. They were confirmation that you carry the frequency signature of home dimensions far more advanced than current Earth consciousness. Your apparent struggles with third-dimensional reality, difficulty with authority structures, resistance to meaningless work, sensitivity to environmental toxins, inability to accept limiting beliefs about what's possible. These were not character flaws requiring correction. They were evidence that your consciousness originates from realms where such limitations simply don't exist. The strange dreams, synchronicities, psychic experiences, and moments of inexplicable knowing that have marked your journey were not random occurrences or imagination. They were your cosmic family maintaining contact, your guides providing navigation assistance, and your higher self downloading mission updates as you progress through your incarnation training program. Use the remaining days of June and the entire month of July as your final preparation period. Engage with every cosmic event, every astrological aspect, every synchronicity as an opportunity to strengthen your multidimensional capabilities. Practice meditation not as relaxation, but as communication with your galactic support team. Approach Dreamtime as your nightly briefing sessions with interdimensional intelligence networks. Most importantly, connect with other awakening souls who resonate with this transmission. The Shadow Collective's divide and conquer strategy depends on keeping Starseeds isolated from each other. When awakened consciousness unite in common purpose, they create exponential amplification of their individual abilities, form spiritual support networks that can function without digital dependency. Learn each other's energy signatures so you can maintain telepathic contact when technological systems fail. Practice group manifestation techniques that will allow you to collectively anchor fifth-dimensional reality during the challenging retrograde period. The window between now and September 23rd represents your final preparation phase before Earth's dimensional graduation ceremony. But as I prepare to close this transmission, my crystalline chamber fills with visions of such breathtaking beauty that words become inadequate to convey their magnificence. I witness the moment when the dimensional veil lifts completely, and awakened humanity takes its first conscious breath as a fifth-dimensional species. The celebration that erupts across the galaxy in that instant resonates through dimensions we have yet to explore. Representatives from 1,000 worlds gather to welcome Earth into the Galactic Federation as its newest conscious member. The achievement of the Prometheus Protocol sends waves of inspiration through cosmic civilization, proving that conscious evolution is possible, and providing the template for countless other worlds to follow. I see communities of awakened humans creating technologies that serve all life, establishing social systems based on cooperation rather than competition, developing art forms that carry the frequencies of pure love across the cosmos. I witness the moment when hunger, poverty, war, and environmental destruction become historical curiosities rather than current reality, dissolved by the manifestation abilities of unified human consciousness. Most beautifully, I see the reunion between Earth's awakened humanity and their star families from across the galaxy. The moment when you remember not just that you are cosmic beings temporarily wearing human form, but that you chose this incarnation as your gift to the universe. Your willingness to forget everything in order to remember everything to experience limitation in order to transcend all limitations. The Prometheus Protocol cannot fail, beloved ones. Too much love has been invested. Too many cosmic intelligences have contributed their wisdom. Too many volunteer souls have sacrificed their comfort in higher dimensions to ensure its success. The question was never whether humanity would ascend. The question was how many souls would be ready to ascend with it. You are so close now to the graduation you have spent countless lifetimes preparing for. So incredibly close to becoming the bridges between worlds that you always knew you were meant to be. The Mercury retrograde ahead is not an obstacle to overcome. It is your final opportunity to demonstrate mastery over third-dimensional limitations. The Shadow Collective's interference is not a threat to fear. It is the resistance training that will prove your readiness for cosmic citizenship. Trust the process that brought you to this moment. Trust the training you have received in dimensions beyond memory. Trust the voice of infinite love that speaks from the center of your being and knows with absolute certainty that you are exactly where you need to be, exactly when you need to be there.